East
Do not
written
leave.
next to it, but nothing about charges or anything, so it probably doesn't exist. I was just looking through my inventory.
Yeah, that sounds like one of those like dangerous things that a GM wouldn't want in his game anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. I'll
good.
erase it.
Let's throw that away.
Nancy, that should be back now. Just have to reload the screen.
Alrighty. So off into the wilderness you go hiking. As described, most of your first day's travel is through wilderness area, but over an ancient road, as I've mentioned to you before, Blackmore has expanded and contracted several times over the course of time, and there are still, even though south of Burnham is pretty much frontier at one point, most of this area was
Oh,
well
shoot.
within Blackmore's borders, and there are still relics and remnants of what was here before the Drow Wars largely
What the hell's going
sent
on?
this whole area back
What's
to
going
destruction. It's
on?
been slowly repopulated and rebuilt since then. Most of that day is pretty uneventful. I'm going to assume that, when you see like, Mama Bear escorting her cubs across the roadway 50 yards ahead of you, you stop and you stay away from her. And when you hear, some lions fighting over a carcass 50 yards away from there, I'm going to assume you stay away from them. But I don't know. Is this a good assumption? I assume we're not going to provoke uh,
I don't
uh,
understand what's going on with that.
the wilderness to go hate us as we're traveling
Sorry
along.
about that, guys. It should be coming here
So
shortly.
you'll
There it is.
travel.
Apologize again.
The first day, evening will come. You'll make a campsite. Uh, what do you, just out of curiosity, what kind of a pattern are you going to establish for sleeping, keeping watches, etc., while you are camping in the out of doors? Are you going to have some kind of standard policy, or are you going to do it ad hoc?
Uh, no, I
I
think we should have a pretty standard policy. So
well, since
me,
I sleep like crap,
uh,
so I can stay up all night.
well, no, you can't. Um, which I'm sure Kim will elucidate you on. But you
Yep.
and I need to get the longest consistent sleep. So we should either take the first shift or the last shift, so we can get a good six
I
hours.
like the last watch. I like to get up first.
I'll take the first watch.
So you're going to divide the night into two sections, three sections.
I'd say three, what, 3 3 hour shifts.
Yeah.
We all get 6 hours of sleep, spend 3 hours on watch.
Yep.
See, actually, you'll tend to get more sleep than that. What we tend to forget about and realize, and I'll use the analogy of, let's say, an army that is marching over distance. Uh, People will wake up at the crack of dawn or even a shade earlier. There's preparation of a morning meal. Things take time to get organized. The army might start marching at some point by 8 to 9 o'clock in the day. And of course, I'm talking now, not modern armies with vehicles and whatnot, footborne armies. Uh, March till maybe noon, 1 in the afternoon. Then you stop. You actually start making your camp. They go out foraging. Many people start to rest while it's still late afternoon and whatnot because they're going to get 2 or 3 of their rest hours before night, and so that then when they wake up to take that first watch or that last watch or whatever over the course of time, you might say it's like you can't pretend to 12 hours. You don't just camp for 8. And those extra hours are
Yeah,
also where that extra sleep comes from that keeps everybody functional so that you're not trying to consist or continually exist on just 5 or 6 hours of sleep and standing some kind of watch every night. So I just wanted to put that in proper perspective in terms of
gotcha.
how that actually works.
Yeah, I just figured after we finished like our meal where we're all up, there would probably be about 9 or so hours before it was daytime and we'd all be up again.
Right, and even then, you might stay put for that first hour or two of morning because I could really use another hour of sleep before we get going. Whatever. It's a much more casual process than it's 6:43 in the morning. We now all wake up, pop into our jammies, and off we go. And then, yeah, right. So, I'm also curious. Do you make a? I'll assume you at least make some kind of small campfire for cooking, etc. While you're camping. Do you keep one going all night long?
Well, none of us have dark vision. Um, we we haven't, but with our time with Kenan, uh,
Yes.
the advice that he would have given us in an area like this, so Goblin lands bordering or Goblin country, bordering Orklands, ordering Borklands. Uh, would he have like with the training that he gave us? Would we think it would be dangerous to keep the fire going all night, or would it
It's
be an acceptable amenity?
it's a very difficult call. There's no question that fire will keep some things away, and it will tend to attract other things, and it can be pretty close to a wash. In areas where like nighttime activity of particularly goblins or orcs might be pretty high. Um, it definitely obviously increases the odds that some goblin's going to be walking along doing his normal everyday thing and think, "What's that odd light coming from over there?" And goes to take a look, and something comes from that. On the other hand, it will tend to keep a lot of wild beasts away, who tend to just sort of naturally dislike fire. Um,
And if we wake up in the middle of the night with something having stumbled upon us, we'll be able to see, presumably.
and sometimes, yeah, you can. I mean, and if it's a
Whereas
troll,
orcs and
right?
goblins can see in the dark. Yeah,
That is true. Yes, they can.
yeah. I say we keep the fire going. That's just my opinion.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I would keep a nice fire, start a camp, and we go to get up in the morning. And
I
then
mean, yeah, I
through
mean,
midnight, we'll kind of let it,
Turn
keep a
the
low
fire on.
fire. That's
So,
just my opinion.
no
I
problem.
apologize. You kept breaking up, so I don't know what your opinion was. I
Oh,
think the
so
gist of it was keep a large fire for cooking and then let it die down a bit throughout the night.
yeah, keep a low fire through the middle of the night, then bring it back up in the morning.
Cool. Yeah, that works for me.
Alrighty. Well, let's see.
Steve, you've got control flame as like a cantrip or something?
yeah, I
Oh
could,
yeah, you guys won't
yeah.
have any trouble. I mean,
You,
creating a
you,
campfire.
we,
Well, no. I was just thinking like if the fire dies down throughout the night,
I can just go, and just be
and we
back.
woke up and there was something there. I don't really want to be fighting by like a dim glow, but if he could cast a control flame and make the fire flare back up.
There is a first level spell that will do that. I don't know if he's got it or not,
I got fire hands that can light up the whole area.
but it's not a cantrip.
Okay.
It is a first level spell.
Yeah, I don't have a cantrip for fire. I have a cantrip for light. Sorry, I was talking to you and I was muted. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
Uh, I don't use that level 1 skill that he's talking about either. I can memorize it real quick because it's one of the ones I don't have memorized yet.
It's up to you. It was just a thought. I don't know if it's going to be an issue.
It shouldn't be an issue.
I
I
don't know
mean,
why I was thinking of it as a.
if I really want to and we need to see the battlefield, I could just cast light and we'll be golden.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
true.
And if you're normally carrying around light, yeah, there's no point switching it
Can
for
you
a
imagine
different
though?
first level spell.
I,
That's
I I will use the cantrip light if we need more light. I'm afraid to cast light because everybody will see us. I make a spotlight.
yep, yep.
All right, so tell me what the watch sequence is,
Think
if you please.
I think James and I are the first ones because then Ruby
Okay,
second and Jorgen last.
Yep. Second.
Because
okay,
the casters need some sleep.
You're
okay. So 2 people up on the first, 2 people up on the second, caster at the, and Jorgen by himself at the end. Did I get that right?
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
We
Alrighty.
we
Hopefully Dawn is chill.
we trust Adonis with our female rogue.
Okay, I heard Joe and or Steve and Jameson up for the first shift, and then me for the second, and then Jorgen for the third. You said 2 for the second?
You're to be
Oh,
with
nope.
our.
Was I wrong? Yep.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought we were gonna leave Severus with her.
Severus, yeah. Severus.
But Severus can just sleep through the whole night. He's paying us.
Yeah, he's
No,
paying
he's
Well,
us,
not.
so
He should stand watch.
Well, he's sharing in. I mean, it's in the
Bless you.
both profits, risks, and whatnot. So he should certainly take a
I'd rather
watch.
Right.
hang out.
Yeah.
I'd rather hang out in the tree by myself, but I'm good. Okay.
Okay, then he'll
Let's
sleep.
put him with Jorgen then.
All right. All righty. Well then, let's see. During the first watch, that was Joe and Jameson.
Yep, that's this guy who is about to go
Oh.
run 5 feet and grab his dice.
All right. Well, the two of you are up.
Says the guy who didn't come prepared.
Everybody else is snoozing. I should turn one of the lights off here to
How many hit points of damage did I take while I was doing that?
wandering hit points of damage. None. The GM will be
goody.
generous for the moment. If I turn the second one out, maybe a little too much. Oh, I kind of like that. I can live with that. There you go. Nighttime. Fire continues to burn. Both the two of you give me a hidden things check, if you please. D20 plus your hidden things modifier.
Yeah, I fell back asleep.
19. Got a 19.
Okay.
Hey, you add our two rolls together, we got a 20.
How about that? Absolute perfect success.
Oh. That's with my +5, bud. Did you add your +5?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Steve the Mage. Actually, first let me make a die roll. Let me do this. You'll hear a
I
sort
apologize,
of
people watching. I got it dark because
from,
the kids are trying to go to bed.
Jameson, and you'll turn and sort of look across the campsite, saying, it sounds like you stepped in something nasty, and he'll barely have the chance to get out. Noah's in fear and surprise. A large constrictor snake. Let's
Oh, they do like warmth.
they
Fire.
not only like warmth, but they can be very hungry. The infamous Blackmore green constrictor snake, who is virtually invisible even in the daytime, because of his ideal camouflage and coloration, completely invisible at nighttime, has come slithering up on you and catching you by surprise. You're aware it's there when suddenly, clomp, there is this set of jaws that clamps down on the lower half of your left leg. You take 4 points of damage.
Oh, it bites
Isn't
me
very
first?
many.
Oh, cool.
It bites you,
Okay.
and you immediately have to give me a strength check at a penalty of 6.
Jesus.
So that's just my straight
That's a
modifier,
strength check.
yeah?
Normal strength check, penalty of 6.
Okay.
Not a saving throw, a strength check.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a total of a 15.
A 15?
Oh wait, no. Penalty of 6?
Penalty. 9.
No, 9. Yeah.
It immediately also knocks you off your feet, and starts working on throwing its coils around your body. You have just enough time to go, a little help here, which is the that your buddy hears. And you are otherwise, for the moment, busy.
Am I restrained?
Very quickly you are, yes. The snake almost instantly starts to get the first coil or two around you, and it is going to start clamping down on you very hard. And you are briefly immobilized. Steve the Mage.
Yeah. Yeah.
technically I would take an initiative roll out of you, but it's just like you and the snake is kind of busy. So
Okay.
melee round one, so to speak. I'm going to drop you into combat mode. What do you do? As you
I
look
need
across
to I
to
need to
this
get to him.
snake. Yep. Well, there he is, short distance away.
Yep. So I'm gonna. Well, the thing is, though, I'm gonna throw some magic missiles. I can't. Can I see the snake?
Absolutely yes. Not super well, but you can see it.
Well, I'm gonna throw magic missiles at it.
Okay, point and go. Boom.
So that's
The
four
incantation.
4d4s.
4d4 plus 4.
All right.
Instant damage.
So 4, 4 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. Plus 4 is 15.
Serpent. Magic missiles. 15 damage. Always hit. Never miss. Jameson, you feel the snake like react to it, and it's sort of for a brief moment, it kind of like loosens up a little bit, but immediately starts like sort of reclamping back down on you. Your mouth can move, not much of the rest of you can.
My
So you can,
arms aren't free.
your arms are not free. No, I'm gonna make your buddies come save you.
Okay. I will yell, "Wake up!" And then I will probably die because I shouldn't have yelled because now my lungs are not full of air and it's grabbing.
Well, the snake is quick, but as I say, because he's reacting to that damage, etc. No, you can continue. You can resist his uncoiling attacks. When you start taking damage, I'll let you know, and I certainly will.
Okay.
All right. Combat round number 2. Everybody who is asleep, the two of you that are still asleep, each of you give me a d20 roll, please.
I do yell "Wake up!" though, whether or not it's gonna suffocate.
That's why I'm going to start the next round with them making a check. Let's call it an intelligence check.
That's not me though. It's just the ones that are
No,
sleeping.
you're already awake. Ruby and Jorgen. 1d20 intelligence check, please. See if you wake up.
So that's the D20, and then you add your intelligence to it.
No, you just
correct?
compare it. Just compare it
Okay.
to what your intelligence check is.
Okay,
And that,
so I rolled a 14. My intelligence check is a 4, so
yep, easy.
10.
Zip. Yep. Jorgen?
Well, I rolled a 16. My intelligence is 14. That yeah.
We're going to have to do something about your microphone. I could not understand a word of that.
It is only Zoom. I don't know why it does Zoom. Everything else, all my other communications work.
You know why? I don't think it's even picking up your headset mic, dude. It's like when you turn your head to the side, we lose you completely, and when you're facing your monitor, we can hear you. So I think you have a directional mic on.
Could be. All right, we'll work with that. For the moment, tell me again, what'd you roll?
No
Nope,
sound
you're
at all.
muted.
Well, now you're muted.
You're officially muted. You got the little mic there.
I rolled a natural 16.
Natural 16, I hear loud and clear. No problem. Wake up. It'll take you one round to wake up and observe the situation and see what's going on. During that round, the snake will attempt to coil up a little more. And Steve the Mage, what are you going to try to do? Snake charge doesn't do very well.
I want to get up to it and start. I'm gonna slam it in the face with my sword.
No swords. No swords.
Well, as long as he's careful.
Hey,
Snake
we've got
is,
our special skill. Remember, we'll be okay.
That's
Snake's
for
body's
fighting next
good.
to each other, not swinging a sword directly into a snake that's wrapped around someone.
Yeah, but let's remember also, this snake is not like, a pencil-thin serpent here. This thing is like about a foot and a half wide or so. It's an enormous creature. And there's plenty of snake to stab that will not stab your friend, although you don't want to go too crazy.
It's a new sword.
Here. Here.
You will need a move to engage, I think, to get there.
Yep.
That means you may make one attack.
All right, rolling my d20 right now.
Monsieur.
I rolled a 5.
A 5 plus...
Plus 4, it's 9. So.
It's got to be more than plus 4.
Is it?
Plus 5
All
for
right,
your
guys.
level. Plus 1 for... Alan, don't tell me you're about to blow up.
No, I'm not about to blow up. I'm just testing my mic. See if it's breaking up or not.
Now, right there, you're real clear to me. Real clear.
Yeah, that sounds way better.
That was steady.
Yeah, I was having a mic conflict. Both of my mics were on.
There might be. That
So
might explain it.
I got
All right, let's cross our fingers. Back to Joe.
Okay.
One attack. You should be +5 to hit from your level. You should be +1 to hit from the weapon you're using, I
Yep,
believe.
+8.
You should be uh, a bonus of 2, I think, for your strength.
Yeah. So I need to hold on a second. So I am into +8 for my weapon because of masterwork, +2 to +2. So 4 +8 +2. So that's 12, 14.
Okay. Or to say differently, +5 for your level, +1 for the weapon, 2 more, 4, 5, 6. So you're +8. Your die roll +8. So actually, that 5 is a 13.
Yep.
And a 13 will miss, but let's get our modifiers right. Since we've just leveled and things have just changed with some new stuff, it's no problem reviewing them. All right. So dip, dip, dip. You two wake up. Jameson is getting entangled and is just doing
Hey,
this,
Duck.
his elbows pushing outward so he can keep breathing. The snake didn't take any damage, and we roll initiatives, if you please. Everybody except Jameson, who is preoccupied.
We are just doing some
Now,
D&D.
quick question.
Yeah.
Obviously, cool with however it is. I don't have any of my checks written out on either, I think, this sheet or the other character sheet.
Sorry about
Okay.
that. I was
I
trying to
just have
explain
my
my fight.
saving throws. But given the
20 minus
numbers I
attribute.
heard,
20 minus attribute.
so technically I would have made my strength check.
Weren't you just streaming right
Just
now
so
too,
you know.
Nook?
Yeah, good.
Like you're streaming right now, aren't you, dude?
Good. So you got no problem, fighting for breathing room. It's just he's got you pretty much entangled and forced to depend on the welfare of your compatriots for succor. In the meantime, we check to see what is the initiative of those compatriots. The snake is going to go in 8,
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you said you
9.
went
Faster
live.
than me. I go in 6.
9, 6, and Joe.
I got a. Oh, that's a D20, not a D10. Wow.
They'll go fast with that. That's for sure.
I got a that 20 with that one. I got 9.
9. Okay. I'll take Ruby first. Ruby.
I
So-
am going to stab it with my new short sword.
I appreciate you coming in.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
You'll have to go running around here. That much movement again will be a close to engage. That'll leave you with 1 attack, which you may go ahead and make. I should treat it as a phased action, but I don't care. It's not a big deal.
29.
Whoa! Stabs the snake pretty hard. What's the damage?
Jesus.
I'm trying to remember. That's
So
2d6 now.
the DM,
2d6.
his name's
First
Kim,
one is 2d6.
and he has all
And then
these
I
figs
have
and stuff. He has like
plus
God thousands of dollars in
2
these
to
figs and
damage.
damn it,
Probably for your
like
strength. I
train.
would guess. I'm not sure.
So-
Well, I had 1 on my expertise, and then you added 1 for the sword itself.
Okay, so maybe you have no strength bonus. What is your strength? Let's check. Let's be sure. Make sure all our numbers are good.
+1 for combat,
Aha! All right.
so +3, right?
So the new weapon was +1
1.
for damage. It was +1 for your strength, and
+1 for an expertise. I put an expertise
thank you.
in that.
Yes. +3. 2d6 +3, madam.
11 total.
Oof. Stabs him pretty hard. Big, thick, meaty, heavy snakes is stabbing a steak knife into a heavy piece of muscle. And it rise, and again, Jameson, you can feel it. It sort of
Oh, I'm sure I
lets
can
go
feel
and
it.
tightens back up again, but it's reacting clearly to the damage that's being done to it. 9, Joe.
I'm a magic missile in the face.
Face, body, tail, it's all pretty much the same.
I'm hit him. So
Piece of cake, because those will hit the
4.
snake and not Jameson.
2 is 6. 2 is 8. 4 is 12 plus 4 is 16.
16 points of damage this time. We are up to that many. Yeah, okay. That's with 9 and 9. My snake goes in 8, and then Jorgen. Snake is. Ooh, let's take a damage. Let's make a die roll. He continues to sort of play patty cake. He doesn't tighten up enough to hurt. He doesn't loosen enough to let you go.
How close is he to my face?
Your face is uncovered. That's why you're able to yell at least or make noise.
He bit me. I was just wondering if I could bite
So if you
him.
bite him, human teeth aren't real.
Oh no,
cement
I
on
wasn't
bite,
expecting it to do any damage.
I like
Just
the
for
way you're
flavor.
thinking. I like the
No,
way you're thinking.
That's the wrong word to use.
It's all right. No, I picture you. No, I don't. Maybe you can. Maybe you can.
Who knows? Either way, I'm trying.
Yeah, skin is very dry and scaly, of course, and yeah, it won't taste very good. It's probably
No,
dirty as well.
that's how you get salmonella. Anyway,
Truth. Jorgen.
Just combat move me up towards it. I don't want to rush in or anything like that. Yeah.
Just position yourself to maybe make a move. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. You're in a perfect spot. This position. Dip. That's everybody. Next combat round. I'll take initiatives again. My snake will go in 10, but that's adjusted, not natural.
Going 8.
8.
13.
13.
8.
8. Snake's pretty quick. And Jameson is, of course, preoccupied. 13. Talk to me.
Just had to check something out real quick.
can't hear you.
Sorry, talk to me without the mute on.
I know. Sorry about that. I just want to double check something before I did it. I want to use one more magic missile. So 3. 3 is 6. 3 is 9.
Please do the magic spells.
3 is 12. Plus 4 is 16.
16 again. The man is consistent. 15 and 2 16s. Snake is starting. You can feel it, Jameson. Starting to lose enthusiasm for this. That was in 13. In it's 10. It needs a percentile die check. Yeah, it's going to start to let go of Jameson, and it looks like it kind of wants to exit the combat arena.
Oh no!
Hell no!
I grabbed the fucking snake. It bit me.
Well, you may have to. You're kind of still lying on the ground a bit. You might have to.
It's wrapped around me. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'll give you an action at the bottom of the round. In the meantime, I got Jorgen first.
I will walk over to Jameson on the ground, and I'll pull him backwards if I can.
Ooh, dragging back out of the way. Very good.
Oh, my
yes.
Nancy.
No pets for you.
I am going to hold.
Okay. The snake will start to slither away. Dip. Jameson, you're being dragged away. Do you try to pull loose and go back after the snake, or are you going to let him pull you to safety?
I'd love to. I'd love to go after the snake, but I think Jorgen can probably overpower me pretty easily.
Well, we'll find out. Give me a strength check, and Jorgen, give me a strength check. What I want to know is by how much do you make your respective rolls?
Failure.
Okay.
2.
He pulls it.
I rolled a 2.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so you don't even make it. I'm sure Jorgen does because he's pretty strong.
Yeah, I make it.
Yeah, okay, so you pull him to safety, and he's kind of thrashing out. No, I want to go kill it. I want to go kill it.
I'm going to make that snake into a wallet. Coin purse.
Relax.
Whatever it is.
Top of the round. I'll take another initiative roll then.
Why'd it have to be snakes?
I go on 5.
So does the snake.
11.
Technically, Ruby, you're on hold, so you can go anytime you want. Joe? Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
I mute my other mic. Jesus Christ me.
So many creative ways to screw up, isn't there?
Natural 10, so I rolled the best I can, and plus the modifier, so.
Okay, so technically Ruby is first, but she's on hold until she speaks.
So I'm at the bottom.
I'll take Joe next.
He's going away, right?
It's clearly exiting if it is allowed to.
Well, I'm gonna use my action. I'm gonna use my action to be like, Severus, wake up and freaking help. We need healing.
Sure. Oh my goodness. Uh,
We got a snake bite.
Yell, kill the snake.
Damn it, Wojo. Come on now.
It's not Wojo.
I know.
For any people watching, this fig has been used before as a cleric named Wojo in a previous. This is now my generic NPC cleric figure.
Oh.
He doesn't stand for anyone in particular, so yeah, he will often be referred to, I think, when we see this fig as Wojo. It's an inside joke. All right. The snake is exiting. Jameson is thrashing on the ground, protesting. Jorgen still got a hold of his foot. Do we let the snake go, or are we going to try to stop it? I don't even care about initiative. Ruby, Joe.
Gone.
I'm letting it go.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
come
too
on,
busy.
you
I'm gonna...
conservationists.
They're
They're an invasive species.
It's
I know
gonna
they're
go
called
tell
the
all
green
its little
black
friends. It's gonna go tell all of its little friends.
No,
to
we
leave
don't want them.
alone.
We don't want him to go tell his little friends anything.
I was gonna say it's gonna go tell its bigger friends that we beat it up.
Yeah, we.
As he's thrashing, I'm gonna kind of pin Jameson to the ground to check to make sure he doesn't have any serious wounds.
He looks okay. He could use some first aid.
And
Quick,
then
suck the poison out. It's right on my thigh.
Doctor says you're gonna die.
Doctor says you're gonna die. Yeah, it's a marvelous joke. All right. Does somebody do first aid on him? Does he do first aid on himself? Do you want to try to repair those 4 hit points?
I will first aid myself. We don't need Severus, I don't think.
Okay, well, he'll come over and check you, and so I can bandage that for you.
Okay.
He just wants to touch Jameson. That's it.
Oh yes.
That's fine.
Since he slept through the fight, you know.
Maybe it'll end up. I'll get a little cut of.
I mean,
cut
I don't know. I mean, James and I did threaten him, so I mean, he's probably thinking
another
threaten him.
It'll be another.
Clear what the rules were.
It'll be another Monty Python line. We are doctors. We must examine you.
So yeah, if Wojo doesn't mind bandaging me
Severus.
up, I don't really
We
think
need
it's
to
worth
stop
a
with the
heal spell.
He's
or
Severus
anything.
now. Yes.
Oh, Severus. Sorry.
Yep. It's a flashback.
If Snape could come over here and bandage me up.
He can bandage you for all 4 hit points.
Gotcha. Cool.
You'll be okay.
As you're being bandaged up, I'm like, man, that snake beat as big as was. That was a little snake bite you got there, bud. Couldn't handle it yourself, huh? Huh? Oh, no. Just hear complaints.
Does anybody have knowledge of animals?
Are we talking about knowledge of animals or creatures?
I do. I think it's
knowledge
nature.
Nature would also partially qualify.
No, I have legendary creature. No.
No, I got humanoid.
No, I got legendary creatures. Humanoids.
All right.
Defensive type.
Yeah, you will notice that the bite, it's not like the thing had big, huge fangs. There's not like huge stab wounds. In a certain way, the wound on his leg is sort of surprisingly light. However, what Jameson can tell you it was like being, well, not that he's ever been like, say grabbed and manhandled by a giant, but that must be what it felt like, because like something just like grabbed a hold of his leg and suddenly was like flopping his 180-pound body around like it was nothing. And if you've ever seen, for instance, like an anaconda or some of the snakes constrictor snakes that can just get like just jugungous, and you understand that they weigh 500, 600 pounds.
And are just muscle and bone.
Muscle, just a big chunk of freaking muscle. Absolutely. Yeah, and if you want to check some out, you can just drop down into Florida Everglades these days, and come find a few anyway.
But yeah, that probably wasn't very pleasant. It was mostly the constriction that was the problem.
And
I have my favorite spell is animal friendship, so
yes,
that would have been my pet anyway. Yeah, if I had
would have been a
hands
pet. It would have been a pet, and Jorgen was sort of right when he says no pets for you. More than he knew.
What I just think is
yes, it was also clear actually to you
campaign.
that the consistent damage that the snake kept taking probably kept it from really seriously clamping down on you. Otherwise, there might have been quite a bit of damage that you would have started taking.
It's our campaign website, and it's actually pretty knowledgeable. It gives like all of our spells, like player's handbook, where we're at, and
as a result, really not much damage.
Pretty good story.
So I assume, Jorgen, you finally let him up after he looks pretty calm and
Yeah,
breathing normally again, and the wild look has gone out of his eyes.
And I'll take a walk over to the stew pot by the fire, fix my bowl of food, and just hand it to him.
Okay, you had to invoke it. Wait a minute, let me get it out. I've got one. Where's my stew pot?
Yes.
Come on, I just saw the box.
I will take the stew.
I just saw the box. It was in the tube. Come on,
and throw it in
Thank you,
Jorgen's
Jorgen.
face. I know what you're gonna do.
No. I'll just say thank you, Jorgen, and I will sit down and I will start eating the stew, and I'll say, Ruby, I think it's officially your watch.
Kind of snicker.
Yeah.
I'll snicker and lay back down.
That's a good movie moment. A good movie moment. Shoot, I can't. Okay, I'm not gonna waste time looking for it. All right.
One of the cuddle.
There's a stew pot, everyone. It's magnificent. Use your imagination.
Actually, there's a picture of it on the website. If you go to the guild services, you can find that page. But anyway, it will show up someday. So with that being done, I think everybody's okay. We can ultimately go back to sleep. We will pass the rest of the night pretty quietly. Morning will come. You'll get a little extra sleep into the first few hours of the day if necessary in order for everybody to feel properly refreshed, etc. Let's do this, however. Let's get a camp life roll out of everybody, please. Joe knew this was coming.
God damn it.
Yeah, let's see how well we will pass the night. Remember, Joe, you do actually now have a skill of 1.
Yeah.
This, so
Roll the 19 with that 1 added. Rolled 18 plus 1.
That.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you didn't sleep on a freaking brute this time. You
About
didn't
time.
try to use a bunch of rocks as a pillow. You actually just slept halfway decent out here in the sounds of the crickets was almost soothing as you went back to sleep. Amazing.
17.
18.
Plenty fine. Jorgen?
I've rolled an 8. I'm kind of looking around. I can't go back to sleep because I'm afraid another snake's going to slide in.
You'll ultimately fall back asleep again, but yeah, you'll probably keep for an hour or two. You'll keep looking up and looking around, and every little sound is like, "Is that another snake?" No, okay, I'll go back to sleep.
So does everybody?
No.
In consequence, my camp life skill sucks. I just got added a camp life.
Morning has broken.
Like freaking pure. I had some pretty shitty camp life rolls.
Everyone, cover your head.
I thought I was actually hoping to have. And by next week I will. I'm going to step my camera game up quite a bit considerably. I'm going to try to start broadcasting in 4K by next week, as opposed to these dopey little cams. Although I'm still going to continue to use these, and I like them very much. Anyway, for future plans. For right now, here's what we see. So we keep going again the next morning. We leave the roadway areas I mentioned. You now sort of just tracking through real classic wilderness, pretty straight up. However, there's a hill, or maybe sort of like a series of hills that you're sort of walking down the direction of, and you know that sooner or later you're going to hit a pretty good sized lake that you'll then work your way around. Then you're sort of supposed to go southwards, and you're at that point pretty close to things. Let's see. Give me, as we're walking along, maybe a little after noon or so. No. Hold on a moment. Let me chew on my thought. I should have done something last night. Check my encounters list here. Pardon me.
I'll strike up a
conversation. Oh, hey, just on a side note, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The hidden things.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
Get we got a +1 with our last level up, right? At level 6.
Yes, because that score is 2 plus your intelligence modifier for skills +1 for every 3 full levels.
Well, we got boned on that one, Jameson.
No, you didn't. No, you don't. Because as a 5/5 for that calculation, you still count as a 6.
Ooh, I'll take that one extra
so you're
one.
Cool on that.
All right, cool.
So you're cool on that, right? So everybody should be 2 plus another 2 plus their intelligence modifier for skills. So probably for most of you, either 5 or 6.
Okay.
Let's have a hidden things roll out of everybody, please. A little bit, as I say, shortly after 12 o'clock-ish hour, so you might even
Nat
just stop
20.
recently, had some lunch. Whoa!
Still looking for snakes.
24.
11.
That's what the
God
6
damn it.
added?
A natural 1. I'm still looking for snakes.
Definitely still a good. Oh, look at that snake over there. And
I'm looking
Steve the
every
Mage
time he says that.
"You nutwit, that's not a snake, but look over here." And what you see, it's kind of odd. Looks like a hyena. Looks like a pair of hyenas. Except they're absolutely immobile. They're kind of an odd, dull, gray brownish kind of color. They don't react to you at all. They just, you see them, they're about 40, 50 yards away still. And also nearby them, shoot, I should have got one of my little pile of bones. There, it looks like there might be some kind of large animal carcass lying on the ground. I'll just put a D6 out maybe for it. So big animal carcass there. Large kind of moose-like size or something like that. And from the distance, that's what you first see.
I don't see anything. I see snakes.
You point this out, right? Right, Steve?
Yeah, I point this out.
Steve
I'm like, hey guys, check over here.
Let's all stop.
Mhm.
Is this the only way we can go? Is this like a necessary path forward?
No, you could easily detour around it.
I don't feel comfortable
All right.
messing with with the. I don't know what I want to call these.
I don't understand what I'm looking at. In
Yeah.
character. Out of character, I understand. One of two things I'm probably looking at.
Joe, you think they're statues?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, I'm confused what I'm looking at here.
All right. Well, if he stops us and I get a chance, I'm going to look through my helmet and get a closer look at him.
They are rock. They're like brilliantly carved statues of 2 freaking hyenas out here in the middle of nowhere. And they are just as lifelike as they come. The carcass looks like it's got flies buzzing around it, and it's probably nasty.
Good.
But the hyenas they're stoned, man.
We've encountered a cockatrice before. Can I make a legendary creatures roll to see if I know of anything else that would turn things to stone?
Absolutely, yes.
I will do the same because I have legendary creatures also.
And you can also look around for cockatrice feathers.
I'll do that.
I rolled a 20 adjusted.
Oh my god, I rolled a nat 20.
Adjusted 11 again.
I rolled a nat 20 looking for feathers.
I got an adjusted 18.
Cockatrice, basilisk, both of those can turn things into stone.
Gorgon. A Gorgon.
Gorgon would be very unlikely. The other two,
any of
those exist in Blackmore Wilderness? Yes.
Do any of those... Sorry.
Go ahead, please.
Do any of those either A, turn the stone back into flesh before consuming it, which I don't think a basilisk does, or B, match the rough size approximation of the corpse on the ground?
The corpse on the ground doesn't look like a large lizard corpse. It just doesn't have. I mean, it's there's probably fur. There's probably moose antlers, or something like that. It's some large herbivorish kind of creature. You're pretty sure of that. I'm not quite sure how to answer the other part of it because I've already forgotten what that was. It went right through my head.
Do any of these creatures that we know about turn the stone back to flesh to consume it?
No. No. In the case of the cockatrice, the touch of the cockatrice feather will turn just about any living flesh into stone. Saving, of course, in technical sense applies. With respect to the basilisk, Somebody will remember from their studies that a basilisk gaze, if you meet it, will turn things into stone. But that's also an ability that like a basilisk can turn on and off, whereas a cockatrice feather is like constant. Like a basilisk can look at you and not have its eyes suddenly go glowy red, and you turn into a rock. But it's their first defense mechanism. So one of the key things if you ever run into a basilisk is step one: don't provoke it. You might have a chance that it won't even be aggressive, and it won't even turn its petrification vision on.
The thing is that we don't know where this thing is. That's the issue, right?
That's why
Well, this is all you see at the moment. You
we
see
should
two.
skirt the whole clearing. I mean, unless you guys want to get into it with something.
I don't.
I mean, those cockatrice feathers were really
very valuable.
But we
Basilisk
also
blood is also very valuable.
A baby.
Well, I rolled a nat 20 looking for cockatrice feathers, by the way.
Yes, and there are absolutely no cockatrice feathers anywhere to be seen.
I leave it to the group. Ruby, you're the rogue. You have the best danger sense. What do you?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if there's anything that I have that I could roll for.
Well, the knowledge part you already hit on, and that's probably the key to assessing the situation. It could very easily be two hyenas frozen up by a basilisk. It could be that the basilisk is nearby or isn't. That's a partially eaten corpse.
There's
basilisks
also
do scavenge, no question about it.
There's petrification spells that like a human could cast, right?
Yes, absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
I think we should avoid the corpse and go around the other way quietly.
Dropping frames.
You can certainly easily skirt the whole situation. There's no difficulty.
That's what I think we should do. To me. What do y'all think?
Agreed.
That seems safest.
Yeah.
Definitely skirt the opposite direction of where that corpse is, though, because whatever it was eating that corpse, or the hyenas were eating the corpse. I don't know I don't know who or what was eating the corpse.
Seems like a reasonable deduction, potentially. It's, of course, complete guesswork. If there is a basilisk and it's gone wandering off, which direction it has gone. Nonetheless, you will choose to, sounds to me like you're going this way, sort of around things.
No, the other way.
No, the other, all right.
Away from the corpse is what she was saying.
Okay.
Either way.
Either way.
Although my Dwarven Forge ends here, the world does not. So it is very easy to skirt the thing by, 200 fucking yards if you want to back up and move around.
Can I use detect magic?
Certainly.
Yep. So roll net 20. Roll d20.
Oh, actually, you don't even need a roll.
True.
Standard cantrip. There is the faint whiff of magic still upon the two stone hyenas. Very consistent with their being turned to stone by some kind of magic. Could be spell, could be a basilisk's vision, could be a cockatrice feather, although we just discussed it. We don't see any of those, etc. So their appearance is consistent with that hypothesis.
Can we see the corpse where we're standing right now? Like, can we actually?
Yeah, you're 40 yards away, a little further than what's actually implied here. But,
I don't think I have improved sight, but I was just seeing if there's any plague remnants onto the corpse.
Any plague?
Like plague, anything like, is it plaguey? Like, is it poisoned?
That would be hard to say without going up there and examining it closely. Well, Jorgen actually has his.
I will look at the muzzles.
Right, you had said earlier.
The muzzles of the hyenas. Is there blood around the muzzles of the hyenas?
If there is, it's turned to stone along with everything else about them. They are incredibly fucking detailed, man.
All right. Well, I agree with what Ruby said, and we should go No,
They would make
nowhere.
great lawn gnomes.
Let's no
You
go.
just pick them
Because
up and take
No
them home.
corpse. No corpse diving. Let's just.
well, if
No
it's a
corpse diving,
spell,
stay away.
won't it? It's not permanent, so won't it wear off?
Some petrification spells are permanent. And certainly if it's basilisk, etc., then it is sort of
Yeah,
functionally
like a
permanent.
normal spell, like flesh and
Uh,
stone is permanent.
right, which sometimes can permanently undo these things. There can be an odd case of like something that's been turned to stone and has existed for like hundreds of years and is then suddenly turned back into flesh, which can work, but then the aging suddenly catches up with the thing and it's suddenly hundreds of years old and dies. And yeah,
Levels away.
that can be a tough way to go. Anyway, all right, so we avoid any potential situation with the corpse, etc. The direction that you pick, there doesn't turn out to be basilisk, at least in that direction. Uh, so that was cool. For those, of course, that are curious, the classic Blackmore red basilisk is a well-known hazard in the Blackmore area, always identifiable by its 8 legs, in particular, as opposed to the other various giant lizards that are found around Blackmore. Well, nobody turns to stone and nobody is petrified. And we continue on for most of the day. We find the lake area that we're told about by pretty late in the day. It's probably just as good a place as any to make camp. Lake's pretty clear. It's pretty quiet. It's a water source, even just for simple bathing or whatnot. And it's probably as good a place as any for your second night's camp.
Can we look for frogs?
Yeah, you can
Big
look around for
frogs?
frogs. Make
Yeah,
a
big frogs. I'm talking about.
check. Make a check.
I rolled a 19.
Again, for those who might be watching or even who don't know, Blackmore is also known for large carnivorous frogs of several forms. The
They're not friendly.
black striped green frog, in particular, is one of the more common ones. And sure enough, actually, if you take 5, 6 minutes and you look around, and I mean, now this lake, for instance, now is very large. Okay, it's like it's hundreds of yards long, and etc. But if you look yards down each of its, what do I say, lake coastlines, is not that what's the shoreline?
Shorelines.
Yeah, you say shore down here, we
Yeah.
think shore of the Atlantic Ocean or whatever, but um, you'll occasionally see frog heads pop up here and there. Occasionally, one where you see a couple fish flopping through the air, and whoop, suddenly the frog pops up and nicks one or two of them.
Well,
Uh,
I'm looking. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the guy that we. I'm looking for the one that we hurt.
well, they don't have name tags. They all
Well,
they
the
all look
one,
the
the
same.
one, the one that we hurt has a log through its hole through its mouth. So
Well, that might be kind of noticeable, but that was also
that's
quite some time ago.
that's what I was looking
His
for.
traps have healed by now.
Can you
Hard to
imagine
tell.
running back into that guy?
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
Did we? There's just one.
There's a population of them. It doesn't look super heavy.
Any of them near to us are coming to like, hey, look at these humans.
Not immediately. Over a course of time, they're just doing their natural thing. They move around and hunt, etc. You will notice maybe, let's say in the course of the next hour or so, one will he's coming along eating small bugs of one kind or another, and he starts to get close. If you get up and even move a little bit aggressively in your direction, it actually notices you, goes off and heads in a different direction.
Good.
You can sort of intimidate them away. They're behaving pretty much like normal wildlife, in other words.
Do you remember their range from the water?
From the tongue,
with
you
their
mean?
tongues being like 20 to 30 feet, right?
They can tongue you from a pretty good distance away. Yeah.
Well, we'll camp at least 60 to 70 feet away from the water.
Yep, that's what I was getting at. Thank you, Jameson.
I gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we don't fuck with frogs.
No frogs for us. Very well then. They will go pretty
I'll
all
eat
night long.
one.
They'll
I'll
you
eat
guys
one.
all oh well, if you want some frog legs for dinner, that won't be difficult. They'll be
One frog leg
pizza.
each.
We got cold pizza, or we got frog legs, I guess. Pizza with frog legs? That sounds disgusting.
That does not sound good.
Yeah, well, we'll just do
Only
it.
in Florida.
Yeah, I'm not even sure down here. We do gator tail somehow. I don't know. Uh,
Tastes just like chicken. Just
tastes like
saying.
chicken.
I'm just saying.
You can
Ro-
keep
Yeah,
it.
but
No.
the consistency is not like chicken. I mean, if you prepare it really well, it's good. But honestly, gator is like so easy to prepare wrong and just it's
I
so
was talking
rubbery.
about the
That
frog
wouldn't
legs,
surprise me.
dear.
That
Well,
both kind of
I found gator taste a mix between chicken and shrimp.
yeah.
Fair enough. I don't even know what shrimp tastes like to me. It doesn't even taste like anything. Um, uh, you do know, by the way, I assume all of you know how deep a frog pond is.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm swimming of 10, by the way.
Knee deep, knee deep, knee deep.
Oh, shut
Ah.
up.
Oh, it also depends on the size of the
Great dad
frog.
joke.
Oh my
Thank you very much. And
god.
with that having been told, characters will bed down for the night on the shores of Lake Erie, which catches fire every few years thanks to the effluents from Cleveland. But oh, sorry, that's a different story. Um, grew up in Ohio. Long deal there. Same watches as the night before. Same order, same sequence.
Yes,
yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of this night passes without incident as far as encounters with creatures go. However, there is the sky darkens up towards late at night. The most of the night is heavily overcast, and a couple small but fairly violent thunderstorms blow through the area. At one point, everybody will get pretty soaked, which is a little obnoxious, and requires a camp life roll out of everybody. And this time with the penalty of 2.
Rain?
I got a
What
0.
rain?
I got a 0 then.
Okay. Yeah, you're miserable. You're completely pissed and unhappy about it.
I'm so out of it.
Thunder completely wakes you up. You just sit there listening for the next. Come on! Oh, Jesus God! Why am I out here in this nonsense? Pouring rain all over you.
I rolled a natural 20, so I sleep right through it. What?
Jorgen's just. The only thing that's louder than the freaking thunder is Jorgen snoring.
Which is keeping me awake apparently.
Apparently, okay, yep.
Between the thunder and Jorgen, I'm gonna be really cranky in the morning, and y'all aren't gonna like me.
Not gonna be happy. Jameson.
Total of 7.
Yeah, bad night. Bad night. Leaves everybody kind of on edge in the morning and a little grumpy over breakfast for sure. But
Well, I'm all happy. What's wrong with you
yeah.
guys?
In fact, he's probably going to be. Jorgen is going to be the direct butt of everybody else's ire. It's like, what are you so happy for? Oh, I slept great, man. It was just awesome. And oh, look, what we're having for breakfast, more frog legs, and he's just as happy as a clam. And the rest of you are like, oh my, can you push him in the water? Yeah. No, we probably
I might
can't.
actually push him in the water.
Well, you might try. He's probably big enough to take all 3 of you with with him as he goes. But
I don't know. I'm pretty sneaky. I could probably trip him. Just saying.
Yeah, maybe.
Careful,
the thought will cross your mind.
You pissed Ruby off. She's gonna cut your Achilles without you knowing it.
Whoops. Sorry about that. You're having a little trouble walking. Yeah. No, I think we'll probably avoid doing any serious damage to each other. We'll get the crankiness out, and the first hour of marching will get everybody back, kind of where their head needs to be at. Although there's a little feeling of fatigue in the back of you. The next night or two better be a better night's sleep than the last. A couple of those will start to add up and impair your efficiency.
And the whistle when you walk.
Yeah, indeed. So at this point, you're close, and you've been given some pretty solid directions about going around the one side of the lake here, and then continuing to the south. So you will follow that path, and as you do so, you will have the opportunity to make a things check. Oh no, where is
19.
Right on the button.
21.
21? All right, we have
19.
some people with
15.
good clear vision and a GM who has to go through his trays of stuff and find, thank you, Lord, for once it's on top instead of on the bottom. All right.
Across the room by the bathroom.
You're maybe about 60 to 80 yards away from what you're going to see here. So I'm going to pick the characters up, just sort of remove them. I'm going to give myself a little elevation, angle here, perfect. What I will need is this. What I will need is this, I think, and let's take that off. In fact, actually, I can even make it look better. I'll put that back. And do this. There's a big G piece here. Got something here. And I need wolves. You'll actually hear them first. Not wolf baying and calling like you would normally hear, but from a little distance away, you hear some occasional growling and snarling, which will cause you to detour just a little bit from the exact line that you're following. And as you come up over a little bit of a hill, as I say, about 70 or 80 yards away, you see what looks like a pack of wolves. There've got to be at least 8 or 9 of them. And they sort of appear to be sitting on top of the. Yeah, that looks cool. I don't know how she gets up there, but we'll put one of them up there. They seem to be all surrounding something. And as you look carefully, and especially Jorgen now, as you look through that new helm of yours, you can see much more clearly. And I assume you will narrate what you see to other people.
I sure will.
It looks like there's a chunk of tree that has fallen over, and something or someone appears to be pinned underneath it. And
it looks furry.
And it looks furry. It does look furry. You swear it looks, if anything, still a little hard to tell, gnollish or bugbear-ish. Maybe the latter. More from the distance, you'd have to get a little. I don't know. That new helm of yours. See, no, I think you can clearly see it's a bugbear. It's wearing physical leather armor. It's got a very clear, distinct mace in its hands, and a shield sort of lying nearby. It looks like its legs are pinned, leg or legs. And as you watch, I mean, every once in a while, a wolf will like sort of move in, like it wants to, like, take a nipper bite, and bugbear will wave its mace, and the wolf will back off again. And a few minutes later, another wolf will come from somewhere else, and the bugbear will fend it off, and it'll back up again. And the wolves are obviously being very patient. And that's even as you're looking at it, particularly again, Alan, because Jorgen, because you can see quite clearly. There's definitely a sense that the bugbear looks worn.
It's warm.
And even as you look over at that tree stump, it's clearly been lightning split, and your thoughts will immediately go to the thunderstorm of the night before.
Right.
What do you see, Jorgen?
I see looks like it's a bugbear pinned underneath the tree and wolves are attacking it. Well, should we let nature take its course, or should we go help the bugbear?
I mean, Ruby, you're a pretty good shot. Do you think you could put it out of its misery from here?
I could definitely try if that's what we want to do.
Well, I don't know. Kim, bugbears, chaotic evil, yeah?
Humanoid knowledge?
I have it.
Someone else has it, not me.
I have it as well. I have 4.
I rolled a hold on.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, she knows better than I do. I rolled a 16. Adjusted.
All right, let's see. Schematic readout on bugbears, history, culture, civilization. breeding habits. Let's see. Page 14, Book of Armaments. Bugbears normally tend to be evil, tend towards chaotic evilness. But there's a very distinct caveat that's very particular to Blackmore. Most of the bugbears in Blackmore are largely, I don't confined is not they will come from Frostcrag Forest, where it's well known that there's a very large indigenous population of bugbears. The bugbears there are certainly nobody's friend, but they're not the virulently chaotic evil kind of creatures that standard bugbears are. They're much more nature oriented, almost druidical in their relationship to living within Frostcrag Forest at a very nature friendly, natural kind of way. They are known specifically to be uh, a little smarter than the average bugbears, fairly well organized. They are defensive of their terrain in Frostcrag, but not necessarily instantly aggressive towards adventurers. Not necessarily not either. It has a lot to do. You rolled a 20 after all.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes.
Do they wear a totem, a special type of totem that we know where they're from, Crag?
I'll answer that this way, actually. There's nothing in particular totem wise that would indicate that they're from like the Frostcrag Forest group, except for the fact that that's just the only place here that bugbears are from. So almost by definition, it's one of those. The exception would be if it's from Frostcrag Peak. Now, what we have there is another situation that this is pretty well known in Blackmore lore, at least the parts that I can give you here regarding bugbears, is that in addition to the indigenous bugbear population in Frostcrag Forest, the forces in Frostcrag Peak periodically come down and recruit, impress, enslave, whatever. I use whatever verb you'd like to use. New young members of that population. They take them back to Frostcrag and train them in a warrior-like tradition that's almost sort of samurai in nature, and they become a separate group of bugbears that are known as the defenders of Frostcrag Peak, the famous dungeon location that exists over in the Barrier Peaks.
So I guess Ruby and myself are discussing this over our knowledge of them.
Yep. And
right.
Within this would be some of that's now spilling over into sort of Dungeons and Treasures lore, etc. But
I have that too.
I have that too.
Everybody gets a little bit of that, but nonetheless,
I have
two
4.
rolls you've already put down, sexy. With the 2 rolls you've already put down, bam, you got this covered for sure. It's functionally has to be from Frostcrag one way or another. There just aren't any other independent populations of bugbears. Whether it's a Frostcrag Forest or a Frostcrag Peak bugbear, you would have to see what it's like, physical armor, etc. was like. But even then, there are some clues where you will be able to tell, so that I'm finally answering in toto the question, Jorgen, that you've asked.
All right, with that knowledge, I'll look at Ruby and I'll say, okay, well, we'll go ahead and give it some help. I'll step forwards and let out a big intimidating shout.
Roll an intimidation roll for me then, mister. The wolves will definitely hear you.
Natural 19.
I'm gonna look.
I'm
gonna look at Steve and say, "You want to go big, buddy?"
I could. But
wolves gather up.
Do you want him big or do you want Jorgen big?
I'll start slamming my shield too and making myself look bigger and more aggressive towards the wolves, so they'll be kind of more backing up.
Well, you're still at a bit of distance, mind you. Let me even sort of let's go back to
Yeah,
your favorite over your shoulder view. There's you, there's them. It's a little bit more distance than that yet.
Since we have a little bit of the element of surprise, can I fire a crossbow at it? When he roars?
There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 8 of them there. You can take your pick of targets.
I just take the closest one,
Including
or
the,
actually, I'll take the one
Pack
that's
leader, pack leader.
yeah,
up top.
the one up on top. Yeah.
It might be this one. Hard to tell. It's a good guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Since Steve seemed really unenthusiastic, I will yell out to Jorgen, Jorgen, this is gonna feel weird. And I will hit him on the shoulder and cast Enlarge.
Oh!
That'll look real intimidating.
And I rolled
on top of a d6.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, very well. Lock and load, point and shoot. Thup. The wolf, which is not really, moving even about a bit because they're sort of milling about uncertainly, eats some damage. Roll them up, girl. Wolf 1. It will let out a yelp of surprise. It's your impression that the wolves are clearly, they're not like coming at you. They're not completely backing away either, but they are clearly
total.
indecisive. And this one, she yelps and comes down off of that
Is that the pack leader?
target. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Some of the they might be. They might be kind of acting a little deferential towards that one.
Okay.
They continue in their uncertainty. They take another morale check, as a matter of fact. That's about as uncertain as you can get. Not quite in pure initiative yet. What do you guys do?
I'll start striding forward, screaming still.
Very well.
And like I said, banging my shield, making myself look
give me
real
an
intimidating.
number again. Intimidation check again, please. God, it's big this time too. Oh Lord.
Ooh, I rolled a adjusted 24.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're reluctant. But
if I've still
are you gonna lock and load another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we've still got the element of surprise, I just want to keep firing as often
won't
as I
even call
can.
Well, we've
Okay,
got
yep.
hesitation, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it surprise. I'd call it hesitation. But you got another free round. Take another shot. Shoot the same.
Adjusted 20.
Adjusted 20 is going to miss just by a millimeter as it leaps out of the way at the last second. She kind of howls and growls a bit and backs up even more. And again, these other wolves kind of follow her a bit. Jorgen is advancing. Ruby has shot.
I will start advancing, sort of flanking Jorgen.
And I'll fall and heed to that same advancement.
Probably on the opposite side than I would
Correct.
presume, right? I got that pretty well.
Also
there.
making a lot of noise and just trying to make him go away.
Ruby, give me one more shot as now the intimidating people, and the two of you I would like intimidation rolls from as well, please, if you have a skill.
What if we don't have it? Can I give you a performance check?
Yes.
27 total.
Aye. Roll some damage.
She scares me.
12 damage.
That's a shot, not an intimidation, but
Oh, okay. I thought you could.
Yeah, that was 12 damage.
I got you. Joe, intimidation check.
I don't have intimidation.
Okay. Jameson.
So my total with the performance would be 16.
I'll take that. If you three continue to advance, the wolves are going to back off. And I don't know, even if
Damn
Ruby
it!
takes...
I want a new coat.
And I wanted a snakeskin.
I want to kill. I want to kill the one. Just the one.
Lock and load one more time. I'll tell you what, I think they're going to turn, they're going to start to run. You say, nah, I think I'm going to take you down.
I can load magic missiles.
25.
I can
All
load
right,
magic.
that's going to hit.
I can load magic missiles into it also.
Tell me if you do. I know you can in theory.
I'm
That
going
doesn't
to. I'm
impress me.
gonna load
Another
magic
12
missiles.
points of damage.
Bam! It goes down. It gets up. It looks really hurt. It's hard to hear from there the way
Magic
it's
missiles
whimpering, and
hit
the
it?
others are stopping to look at it. Are you going to magic missile it,
I am.
Joe? Boom. Well then.
Don't singe my fur.
Well, that's not promising anything.
So I think
We got a
missiles don't
couple
fit.
holes in it, but
You
can
got
probably
you got a
patch it.
few holes.
a good taxidermist or a good leather tanner can work around that. You do not have to roll damage. That magic missiles will snipe the wolf. She goes down, thump. The other 3 wolves on her side immediately turn and run, and that causes the 4 that are over here themselves to turn, and they head off in the opposite direction. Now,
Or swinging as I'm walking up to him.
for a little while, and for a little while is a vague, but let's say as long as this incident continues and maybe a few minutes after, the wolves may continue to hang out at distance, kind of like watching and sort of obviously waiting to sort of see what happens and whatnot, but they make no move to close back in on you.
I'll keep walking to the down tree.
Yeah, Jorgen, you're big. You can probably pick that tree up right now.
And that's how I was gonna try
Yep.
to move it off of him. At least
I'd
lift it so he can
still
crawl up.
say we should probably talk to him before we move it off, right? I don't know. You
Uh,
guys think he's a good guy?
Do they understand?
Oh, I think they do
Common?
understand common.
I don't know if they understand
uh,
common.
It's worth
there
asking, I
are
think.
some that do. It is a known language within their culture, but it's not at the risk of making a pun, it's not common, uh, but it is known. Um, I will say, Jorgen, it's clear to you as you're walking up that the bugbear is very intimidated and clearly thinks you're coming up like to kill it because it's weakly, holding its mace in sort of a defensive position. But you
I
can
will lay my
see
warhammer and my
fear.
shield to the ground,
Oh,
and I'll put my hands up, and I'll walk up to the tree, and I'll just kind of move it so he can squirm out from underneath it.
okay. And I have to correct you on one other thing that you'll also notice as you're doing that. It's not a he.
Well, then I will let her out.
Hold on a second.
Never seen a female bugbear before. Cool.
Yeah, but you rolled a nat. Wait, no. Ruby rolled the nat 20 on Bugbear. She would probably notice. She would know all the gender distinctions.
Do I have a better camera to see that?
Like it's
This is a
it's the
great
shape of
fig,
the ear.
but
I think the breasts give it away.
yeah, she's got knockers.
Oh yeah,
She's
I see
got
the
The
Yep.
light is really making it hard to focus on it. That's what's wrong.
yeah, it's not.
And you have to like twist your lens, I think, too.
Let me just try something else. Just a moment. Oops, nope, it's the same camera. Let me shift. This should be my overhead. I wonder if I can just get a better view.
Sometimes if you put something solid behind it, it'll focus better.
Yeah, there you go. I can see. Yep. Got cleavage.
Yeah.
Boys will be boys.
As I see, I'm definitely going to be working on upgrading my camera so the quality of some of these figs can come through. But even just as another similar comparison, just to make a point, she's not only just clearly in, breasts and what's if you like. I mean, obviously female, but you can also see the difference between a male bugbear and a female bugbear. There's considerable
Stature,
difference in
yeah.
bulk and stature, for sure. But sure, her expression clearly changes, although there's still plenty of fear in the eyes as you put your weapons down. And as you come up to the tree itself, I mean, she flinches. She's even holding the mace up right in front of her body, but she doesn't swing it at you, and just watching every move you make. And you can lift it up just a little. She'll squirm, and you can see pain in her face as she does. And you can see that she's just free of it. Boom. You can let the tree down, and she's lying there on the ground, like staring up at you. But her feet are
Oh, excuse me.
clearly free, although
Apologize, guys.
that lower part of the left leg is not really quite at a
Crap, my
proper
screen
angle.
went
Proper
off
angle,
again.
yeah. I can dispel the
I can
enlarge
fix
at
that
any
real
time,
quick.
right?
Yes.
I will go ahead and release.
Well, I can
Or
dispel
you
the
can.
enlarge.
One of the two of you can. Somebody can. You can say, "Hey, turn this thing off."
Yeah, I got you. I'll also walk over there.
What the heck's going on?
Are we
And my
gonna
first question is,
are we gonna allow some healing here?
well, I was gonna heal her
Okay.
probably, but my
Think she
first
needs it,
question
yeah.
is gonna be, do you speak common?
All right, give me one moment,
Before
guys.
I
The game will
touch
be up here
her
in a
or
second.
get any closer
I
than like
apologize.
5 feet away.
She
Do, do,
says,
do, do.
"A little."
Do
There you
you
go.
want me
The
to
game should be
try and
back up.
fix you? Your leg looks pretty bad.
Come on. What
Leg hurt bad. Cannot walk.
the hell's going on?
Wolves would have killed me.
Probably, they usually do.
There we go.
I have to
I
touch you to do
apologize.
this, and it might hurt.
Thank you for sticking in,
Are you
guys. I
cool to
apologize about
not
that.
attack me?
You are shaman. You can heal.
Yeah.
GM to player. With some of the bugbear discussion that we've also had, bugbears don't particularly have clerics. They do have shaman who have magical capability. It includes healing capability. It would clearly be the way that she would see and logically understand magic use.
Cool. Yes. No use explaining the intricacies to her.
Probably wouldn't understand.
She says,
Big medicine man. Me big medicine man.
she says, "You helped me?" It's obviously asking it as a question.
Yep. And I'll say yeah, but again, I want to reiterate and get across the point that it's probably going to hurt for a second, especially if it's a clearly broken bone, and I need her to not attack me.
Yeah, we'll need to
Hurts.
pull it straight and set it.
Hurts already, she says.
Gonna hurt more for a second.
She puts her mace down and kind of lies on top of it, and says, "Help me."
Okay, I'll go over there and make a first aid check, and with Jorgen's help, probably because he's strong enough to put
Pull her leg back in.
torsion on the
set it.
bone, we can get it set, hopefully. Oh, there we go. Rolled an 18, so that is first aid. Where are you? First aid. Oh, I don't have it as this character. I was
I
thinking of my
have
other
first
character. I
aid.
should have it though. I should have it as a cleric now that I'm a cleric as of this session. Either way, I rolled an 18, so it would
I'm
be
willing to
20 or
accept
above.
an immediate assumption that you do. We discussed the intricacies of this earlier.
Cool. So after that, if it was like a compound fracture, if there's any like bleeding, I'll rub in, assuming it's still good, because I do know it had an expiration date. Some of that healing poultice we had gotten from Narmic back in the day, which does 1d8
Ooh, that's a while ago.
plus 1.
Mm.
Yeah, but I still have it. I don't know if it works, but this is basically a monster.
Yes, but it's also, a creature of flesh.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might. Those are pretty old.
Okay. I'll pull them out, probably
There
see
might be
how like
one or
dry
two
and
that have a little bit.
crusty they are, and I will.
You might be able to salvage a little bit out of one or two of them.
No, that's
There's
cool.
her break is probably more green stick than compound. Fortunately, it's not as actually completely horrifying as it could have been. Probably, doubtless the probable softness of the ground and the fact that it was raining to help make it a little softer might have made a heck of a difference. But it's
Well, then-
definitely broken, and so yes,
when it's set, then I will cast Cure Light. So no, that's 48.
okay.
Don't forget to add your level.
Not my level. I wish.
Well, but there's a healing modifier, of course. He doesn't know that. Yep.
So 6, 6, 4, 5, 12, 16, 21 plus my healing modifier, which we're not sure yet, but wisdom 16, probably
Oof.
at least one. So 20.
Okay. That does a considerable amount of healing to the physical trauma,
All
um,
right.
some blood loss, etc. You'll know that the leg technically is still broken, and will still need critical healing over the course of time. But the bugbear will immediately say, "That that is better. That feels better." Um, Severus will speak up and say, actually, Severus has to double check to make sure, but I believe, wait, God damn it, let me find my notes here. I think he's got quick and critical healing in his spell list.
Yeah. I didn't want to assume that I had that because I usually don't carry that with my other characters. So
As a matter of fact, he does. And he will point out, I can cast a spell on her if you want me to. You told me not to heal orcs. She's not an orc.
no, she's not an orc.
But I'm not going to do it if you guys don't want me to.
You have my permission.
Yeah,
For
More than,
sure.
yep.
He looks at you because you were pretty insistent back there at.
Your permission. How about the group's permission?
Well,
Well,
he's looking at all of you.
Yeah.
Y'all pretty
I
clear
think we
not
got
to heal
consensus.
orcs, okay?
I think we're pretty good.
Not an orc. Not an orc. You're okay. Just don't make it
Okay.
a.
Ruby, did you wanted to leave this bear here hobbled?
No.
I think you just maybe wanted to be consulted, or be sure you were on the consultation team there. In any case.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we might have just made the assumption that you were so much more kind-hearted than the two of us vicious, like evil
Killers.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vicious
That you would want it to happen either way.
I mean, she
We
was.
won't assume next time. You
she-
could be just as vicious as either of us.
She was just shooting the head, remember? Put out of his misery, so.
I mean, yeah, it was at my
You guys have been
behest,
known to
but-
do that sort of thing. Yeah. It's, I'm not gonna put it past you.
It's just
positively-
the adrenaline from the wolf, okay? Which I've got to go over here and skin now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, do you have a skill for that?
Probably not.
Ooh, it's
Can
gonna
I
be
roll
nasty.
dexterity check for some sort of pelt?
I don't know. I've got riding.
See, the bugbear has it.
I've got
So
survival.
you mount the dead wolf.
I've got survival, and I've got
I now have a
swimming and
vision that
teamster. So come on.
I have a vision that
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
have to
Does
days.
Severus do the critical heal on her?
Severus is going to put a spell called Quick and Critical Healing on her. What it does, in mechanical terms, what it does is it turns like hours into effective days of healing, so that it doesn't instantly fix her, but instead of and actually, interestingly, as he does it, he'll actually come away saying, fascinating. She's already healing at a much faster rate, even with that spell, than a regular human would. And he's going to end up coming up with this hypothesis he'll discuss with you later, that maybe bugbears have an unusually rapid metabolism, or a natural fast, rapid healing function. Because like if a human had that break, he's seen this before. He's fixed broken bones. As soon as you put the spell on, you can tell that something's going on, but it still is going to take 3 or 4 days to take up the equivalent of what would be 6 to 8 weeks of natural healing. He's going to say she's going to heal by the end of the day if she keeps going at the rate she's going. And the bugbear herself again says, leg even better, your magic's strong.
I will help her sit up at least.
She's
Here, have some more of the magic of Dionysus, and I will hand her a bottle of wine, or wine skin, more likely than a bottle.
she will sniff it uncertainly a couple of times. Not in a I don't know.
All right.
She's like, she can't help but be suspicious, yet at the same time she's not.
I'll drink some
But,
first. I'll take it back and drink a little, and then hand it back to her.
Thank you.
She'll drink some of it.
You butthead.
Get a surprised look on her face. That tastes good. She drinks it. You have more?
I appreciate that.
You won't be
Not at the
feeling
moment,
pain in a few minutes.
but yeah, let that set in, and see where it takes you. You do have a fast metabolism now, so it'll probably just be like a good 45 minutes or something.
I thought you would kill me.
I thought so too until my friends explained you might not be like some of your other brethren. Um, do you have a name?
A bot.
I am Kitschy.
Thank you.
Instant 1,000 XPs if anybody can name a famous book, which I've taken that name from.
Shogun.
Nope.
What was it again?
Kitschy.
The Jungle Book?
Nope, not a bad guess.
I keep wanting to say Uncle Tom's Cabin.
No.
I am not gonna guess.
There you go. Joe pleads the fifth.
Jack London's book, White Fang.
Oh, there we go. It sounded like a nature name.
About a month and a half ago, I just pulled that book off my shelf and just read it one afternoon just for the hell of rereading it again. I haven't read that like 45 years or something. It was like, yeah, this is still a good book. It's cool.
So Kitschy, where are you out here alone? How did this happen?
Yes, she will explain. She is out here alone. She is a member of a sort of warrior cult within the Frostcrag Forest bugbears. They have a rite of passage where to properly join the society, you have to cross over from Frostcrag over here to the Razorback side and come back with 20 orc ears. She has 14 at the moment.
I like her already.
Oh, we don't have any of those lying around from our time with the orcs, do we? It probably wouldn't be appropriate for her to take them from us.
In fact, you immediately think she probably wouldn't, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact.
Oh, we kept the earrings, but we didn't keep the ears themselves.
Right.
Oh, that was some kobolds, though. Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
that
from
was the
kobolds.
kobold earrings.
The kobold
but I
earrings.
thought at one point weren't we getting paid to bring back ears? Anyway, when we worked with the army, right? When
Yeah,
we
that might
were
have been a
killing
brief
the
period of
orcs?
time there. Might have been the way they
Anyway.
counted too. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's got a little leather bag, and she will proudly display 14 so far.
Like I
6
said,
more
I
to
like
go.
her already.
That's very cool. Are there many different tribes in the Frostcrag Forest? How powerful is your tribe? No.
She says,
It's
we are
warm.
all of the same tribe in Frostcrag Forest.
Good to know.
Ruby and I would know that.
Yeah, that would be consistent, at least, with what you've heard, is that their culture is consistent throughout. I mean, they have multiple, like, their little settlements. Again, they live a very tight sort of, it's thought. Like, some of this is very speculative, but again, this is by best information that you've, got from Blackmore knowledge and history. There's thought to be many different like villages of them, whether each village is like some kind of separate tribe or whatever is not known, but the cultural consistencies throughout all of them are always identical, and there's never been any consistent sign and any sign that anyone in Blackmore has noticed of internal dissension within them, although it is known that they from time to time Frostcrag Forest does get invaded by orcs from the Razorback Mountains, and the bugbears are known to be highly unfriendly to them. Blackmore adventurers have been in Frostcrag before and seen orcs and bugbears fighting each other. That's like on the record book.
Hey, anybody who doesn't like an orc is a friend of mine.
There you go. That's a very elven attitude, but nothing wrong with that. Absolutely.
Same here. I think the whole group kind of hates orcs right now.
That's fair. That's what they're there for, is primarily to be hated. Anyway, uh, so she gives you this explanation that this is what she is doing, and she's
Okay.
going through her rite of passage to properly take her place amongst the warriors of her tribe.
Do we still don't have like a group
Name.
name or a group identity?
No, you should work on that. And she had, what are you doing here? She
We
asks.
should probably let's work on that right now. Spitball in the chat, guys. We are adventurers, and we are headed to some ruins down the way in search of
Treasure.
valuable things. Yeah, treasure.
Castle? She asks.
Uh,
And she even like,
True.
literally turns her head over her shoulder and looks kind of off in a direction and looks back and says, "The castle?"
Yeah, two big
Tower?
towers, and I'll mime the. There's two, one maybe shorter than the other.
She points at the two more hills over.
Good to know.
Very good to know. Well, unless
Lots of
we
goblins.
can. Oh,
Oh.
also good to.
I love goblins. They're my friend.
She looks at you. I don't think so.
Well, friend
He's
meaning
joking.
stabbing back friend.
It's goblin clobbering time.
It doesn't translate well into bugbear.
True, true.
She says something in bugbear, which I don't think you understand. I don't think you're right. So,
I
I
have
have
comprehend language, but there's no point.
I have ancient language, so
but the blank look on her face will. Oh, she says. Oh, I thought you understood. She will go back to common.
Um, yeah, unless
Is there
you need
anything
more assistance.
Ruby.
is there anything else about the castle that you can tell us?
Uh, there was an orc shaman in the area who was very interested in it, but I have not seen him for a couple of days.
Hence the stone hyenas, probably.
Hyena? No, orc shaman.
Understood. He didn't have a name, did he?
Oh,
Wasn't
uh,
Torgosh, was it?
no, no.
Okay.
Mazrak. She furrows her brow for a second. Mazrak, I heard him called.
good.
Had some followers, 3 or 4, maybe more.
That's the guy that well, I had him written down as Mugrack with a question mark. But that was the guy that Torgosh was competing against. He was the competing orc leader
This
and
does not seem to be
boss.
the same name.
Oh, it's not?
Does not seem to be. Similar.
Okay.
Did
Peter and Paul are similar.
did Mazrak go to the castle?
Don't know. Maybe. Hard to find a way in. Stories of magic. Castle, bad place.
That's what we've heard. I'll look to the rest of the group and say, can you think of anything else she might be able to tell us? Or should we just head on our way?
Well, it sounds like she's doing rite of passage, so I mean,
We'll
we
wish
should.
her the best on her passage.
Yeah.
I'm glad we
Yeah.
could assist her. It is a pleasure to meet a fellow warrior.
She will thank you. You say you saved my life. Will not forget. Kit, you will
Don't
remember.
don't forget the name Jorgen.
Jorgen. I will remember.
And Jameson.
Jameson.
You could call us the Burnham Brigade because I haven't gotten back any feedback on that.
Burnham Brigay. She will
That's
take
a
care.
good name, actually.
I will remember.
I like that name.
I will remember.
Cool.
We will see you again.
Maybe.
He will shrug. Maybe. But
Good luck
Gitchy will
killing
remember.
orcs. Kill a
Good
couple
luck
extra
killing
if you get the
goblins.
chance. Thank you.
We'll say. You go. I think Gitchy be okay. Leg feeling better. Can walk soon, I think. And so I assume.
Okay. Yeah. Well, head on our way.
Yep.
Well,
Oh, let's wait till she can walk so the wolves don't come back and try to eat her.
Severus will say there might be some hours.
I mean, it depends, Severus. We're on your timetable. Are you in a rush? We could technically just camp here.
That's what I was thinking is camp here.
Uh,
We probably won't get very good sleep, but like not even to sleep. I know it's the day, but we could rest here, knowing that we're about to go into combat.
he says, well,
Maybe eat a little,
we have.
stretch.
You have certainly done right by her, and she is, after all, in a quest to prove her warriorhood.
Yeah, we've probably rendered enough aid. Maybe even too
and
much.
she says it's only over the next hill. I would certainly like to at least go peek.
Yeah, I think she'll be all right here. We don't have any sort of like a horn, or does she have any sort of noise making device on her? That like if the wolves came back and she was stranded here and dying, she could like blow toot a horn or something.
Oh my God, Doug! I just said I'll take a wild ass 10% chance. Ba-boom. Yeah, as a matter of fact, she does. She's got a hunting horn.
Hey,
But, I guess for us Craig bugbears must use these regularly.
awesome.
Yeah, even the GM learns something once in a while, huh? Golly gee.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll just say give 3 sharp blasts if you're in trouble, and we'll
Okay.
head back this way if we can.
Wolves come back now. They'll eat Gitchy's mace, she says. She nods.
Sounds good.
I believe they will.
Well, all right. Take a deep
Over
breath.
the next hill, right?
Take a deep breath. Yep, because you're gonna come up over one little hill, down another, and then suddenly, looking through the trees, I'm gonna place a couple
Jorgen's helm.
here. Dun-dun-dun. Let's flip that around the other way. No, yeah, that's fine. I'll back that off just a shade. You suddenly come over and see.
Dun dun dun.
I do have to admit,
Hey
I
now.
do like the whole you be able to move the scenery like that, and like that's pretty slick.
Thank you very much. It looks like
There it
there's
is,
two
boys and girls.
towers, but one of them appears to be in some distress.
Which side is north?
The right-hand side,
Okay.
as you are looking at the picture, should be.
So the undamaged one.
We'll look at Severus and said, "Did you know the other one was damaged?"
Cool.
Yeah. I believe
Dude.
my uncle said that there was some report of it, but wow, that's damaged, he says.
Yeah,
Dude, put your hand back in there. Wow.
that's a
Okay, I didn't think that it was that big.
Yeah,
Oh my
Jesus.
the
gosh.
scale is pretty impressive. Yeah.
That's cool as shit.
Let me just pick this up and do this for a second. My table there is about 3 feet wide.
That's fucking huge,
That
actually.
is sick.
All right, and to put one of your figures in proper perspective, or well, I could just hide him behind the battlement there, and I mean he will literally hide behind the battlement.
I don't even see it.
Right here.
There
Yeah,
he is.
yeah, there he is.
Now who is
Wow.
that? Who is that there?
That's Severus figure for
Oh,
Jojo.
Jojo.
okay.
Oh, jeez, I'm like,
Take him out.
man, he can teleport now, guys.
Let's put somebody bright up there for a second. Here's Joe the Mage.
Wow.
Lets you know exactly how
Wow,
big
that's cool.
that is.
That
If he was
that is sick.
standing here in the gatehouse.
Very, very cool.
Sorry, I had a little bit of a moment. I needed I needed that. Thank you.
Thank you. I needed that. Mike is actually going to get a chance to physically see this tomorrow. I think I am going to have to tear it down to do what I do with you guys, but I'm going to, that's set and I even want you to be able to just see this. This is so what we have in Toto as well. You'll be able to spend a little bit of time looking. There's clearly a road out here, which then leads up to the castle itself. There are some destroyed buildings. The implication is that these would continue on in both directions. I'm out of Dwarven Forge shit. If you'd like to send me $500, I'll be more than happy to buy a whole shitload more and continue to cover my goddamn
Nice.
table. But I'm not hurting, so I'm not crying. Anyway, we have obviously destroyed buildings. On one side, we have destroyed buildings on the other. It looks like this one's stone. Looks like that's wood. Then some distance and some space. Anybody that knows anything about real castle construction would know that you'd keep your buildings much further away from the front of the castle, etc. But my table's only so big. Once again, if you'd like to, buy me a new home or apartment or place, whatever, I'll be more than happy to
Storage
set
unit.
something up
warehouse.
even larger. Right? I guess as long as we're selling our soul for this, we might as well do it in spades. So
True.
that's like sort of what you're looking at, as well as you look at it. It's the combination of like the music of the movie in the background, and what you can see, the little moving heads every once in a while that pop up around from behind or something, etc. You're absolutely certain there's goblins in here. Like a little head will pop up from around the stonework here, and then pop
Well,
back
I'm going to use
behind it,
my helmet to
and
get
then
a
maybe
better
over
look.
here. Yeah, there's no question about it. There's goblins. They kind of know you're there. They're all excitedly huddle up. Oh, they must be thinking, oh, adventurers are coming. Blah blah blah. So you're not going to surprise them.
It
Hard to tell
reminds
how
me of
many
the,
there are.
reminds me of
Bunch.
the scene of the Fifth Element. How many are there? Oh, let me take a quick count. Anybody want to negotiate?
And it
Um,
being almost 9:30, I'm tempted to say that might be a really good place
yeah, probably.
for us
Yeah.
to say.
I agree 100% actually on that one, because we got
Because
through
I
the
also
castle.
want to.
I got to go to
yeah.
bed here soon because I got to be up at 4:30.
Yep.
Yeah, now that we made these character changes, I do want to sit
We've
down and well, I'm just gonna rewrite the whole character sheet and everything too
Good.
before
Yeah.
we get
Yeah.
into a serious combat.
Yep. And
Cool.
I had my reveal moment there, which I'd been working on for quite some time. So believe me, yeah, that was cool. That was fun.
Really
It's
cool.
impressive scale,
Some of
though,
this.
man. Look at that.
Yeah, and I can't. I should send to each of you pictures. I've got a picture on my phone of my cat Maggie sitting inside a larger construction.
Alright, guys,
Maggie
with
has
that,
since
I will
passed
be
away. She was
shipping us
God's
over
gift
to
all cat
Bone
people. There will
Thugs
never be a cat
420. He is currently
cooler
doing World of
than
Warcraft.
Maggie anywhere ever.
He is part of the Kingdom
God, I
streamers.
was blessed by
I
the
like to try
Jesus
to
out of her. I
support
really mean that.
those guys as much as I can,
Man, she was just the
because
cutest
they've done a
fucking
lot
thing.
for
And
me.
sure enough, man, you built something on the floor. Nope, this is Daddy's. I got to come over and check it out.
But thank you
Boom,
for stopping in,
curled up,
and we'll be back next
sleeping in
week,
the middle of this.
Sunday, for
And again,
more
it gives you some
D&D.
perspective idea. You can.
Thank you all for
I can
stopping
make some
in.
pretty
I
large stuff.
really
Yeah,
do
this
thank you
is
for
just
stopping
the
in.
first taste.
Basically, Maggie was a cute Tarrasque in that scene.
Pretty much it. So that's what she looks like. I will try to do that. I'll send that picture.
Well, this has been very cool, man. It's pretty surreal, the idea that someone might watch this or have watched this or be watching